Hello, my name's Nikos. I've been selling on Amazon for the last 4 years, and the last two have been able to turn it around and make it a full-time business. Now, what this meant that I've gone pretty much through every single Amazon business model in order to sell, and I've stumbled many times, yeah. But I'm very much happy with the decision that I've got at the moment in time and how my Amazon portfolio of stock looks like. Now, my whole journey started with retail and online arbitrage. So literally I was using softwares like Buybot Pro, as you can see here, and I still do, to be honest. I still do some online arbitrage, especially during Q4. You can see here, okay, this figure, we've got it's a Lego that we're able to buy it directly from Amazon for 30 quid. There was a price drop. You were able to also buy it from Frasers. You were also able to buy it from John Lewis just before Q4 happened. And you can see at the moment in time, the price is 47.41. Now, I sold it for 48.50 during the holidays. Nothing crazy, yeah. But Nikos, why are you picking this up? Okay, there's not much profit here. There's £3.88 profit on this, but it's a small item. It can go in, and I want to show you how this is the reason as to why I bought it. I'm a VAT registered seller. A quid is a quid. I'm not bothered in the slightest. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm not a non-VAT seller. A non-VAT seller would have to maximize their margin as much as possible. So this wouldn't be something that I would recommend for somebody who was not a VAT seller buying. Could you still make a profit of it? Of course, you can still make a profit of it. But if you're a non-VAT seller, you're trying to maximize the margin. Okay, you're trying to make sure that you make as much money as possible from that 90,000 that you're allowed to have as revenue each year. Okay, because that's what the amount after 90,000 revenue, we're not talking profit, after 90,000 revenue, you're supposed to declare for VAT, and you also got to pay VAT for it. So for me, at this moment in time, it doesn't matter. It's £3.88. I think I sold 5 of them. Nice and easy for it. So it's clear image. If I'm buying something and selling 400 times a month, it's going to sell. So that's why I bought it. Doesn't matter if it's a quid, doesn't matter if it's 3 quid, doesn't matter if it's 2. If something can sell 700 times a month, 400 times a month, I'll buy it. It's simple, it's very easy, especially when I'm not even doing the packing anymore. So I'm very pleased with that. But the journey, obviously, that we mentioned too, is switched from OA to RA. It switched quite a lot to private label. Now, private label, what is the private label? Private label is the process of me having a trademark, bringing products over from China, putting my logo on it. Sometimes don't even have to put my logo on it, and then sell it on Amazon under my own brand, and nobody else can jump on that listing. And yeah, if that listing fails, I have failed. If this listing is a success, I'm the reason as to why this listing is successful. Plain and simple. Yeah, you cannot look left, right, and center and blame someone else. Okay, if you're doing online arbitrage, if you're doing retail arbitrage, you can blame someone else because they're just tanking the price. We saw, and if you're watching this, potentially you're already selling on Amazon, you noticed that people were panicking around the 12th, 13th, 14th of December. You potentially saw the prices of some goods plummet, even though those goods would sell in January, February, March. It seems to be that some sellers that are new to the game thinking that, I don't want to get stuck with this stock. Yes, of course, if it's gift sets, then they've got all the right, because let's be honest, the next thing you've got is potentially Valentine's Day on the 14th of February, and then you've got maybe Easter. You're not going to see any much variation until you get to the summer season, where then more people are going to be spending money. So yeah, I had to make that switch, and I jumped into private labeling. So what I'm going to be doing here today for yourselves is we're just going to have a look and see if we can find a little niche for yourselves, something that you could potentially take a deep dive into and think, well, actually, this is something that I would like to do. Now, as mentioned, private labeling, okay, what is the whole process of private labeling? It is the process of me finding products from China and bringing it over. So this is what Black Box looks like. Obviously, we are a UK seller and we're selling in the UK, so therefore we're going to select for Amazon UK. And then it's a case of you targeting a category. So notice how I switched already from simple to advanced. It just gives you so many more options. In fact, I'm going to move myself so you can see everything for yourselves. You're going to select a category, okay? So what category do you want? Well, we're going to select, let's go for kitchen, yeah. Let's go for kitchen, home and kitchen. Now, notice that there's a lot of different categories between the home and kitchen section. You got arts and crafts, you got artwork, home textiles, cleaning supplies, cooking and dining. So I'm going to go cooking and dining. You got indoor lighting, kitchen and home appliances. Why not? Storage organization. New year, new us. I'm going to select these categories. Again, number of sellers. Well, we're not after massive brands. Okay. Well, the last thing we want to be doing is finding a brand like Oxford, let's say, for example. There's no reason for it because that is people doing online and retail arbitrage. Similar, if you were thinking, well, I would like to do online and retail arbitrage, what you could do is you could simply switch it up and say, well, yes, I am going to do that now, and I'm going to go the other way in trying to find a product that I could sell with the online and retail arbitrage. So maximum amount of sellers is 2, so we can get private label sellers. Number of images, let's put maximum number of images 4. Review count, well, let's say maybe 100 max. And review rating, maximum of 4. And then it's all about the pricing level. Often I get people asking me the question, well, how much do you need to start with private labeling? Well, what do you want to do with private label? Do you want it to substitute your income? Do you want it to be something passive on the side? It just depends. Okay, that decision is going to affect how much you got to spend. Well, if you wanted to substitute your income, what's your income? Is your income 3,000 a month? Yeah. So therefore you've got to make quite a larger order. If you're thinking, well, I would like to earn an extra 200-300 quid from this product and maybe replicate this 20 times to get 6k. This is the way that I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm trying to replicate something multiple times in order to have that revenue coming in. And what I'm doing is I'm building relations with suppliers and asking them, is there anything else I can do? So every time that I place a new order, I often try something new, and because I'm placing an already large order, I'm able to get quite a bulky discount for the stuff that I would like to try it. And you can see here, okay, so minimum price revenue. Well, for me, I am a registered seller, so there's no point in me selling anything below £15. So we're going to go for maximum price of 15, and I'm going to go all the way to 30. Parent level revenue. So what revenue do we want? Well, that is a nice and simple question. And all you got to think is, well, how many times a month do you want to be selling this item? Do you want to sell it 50? Do you want to sell it 100 times? So if we put 100 times, yeah, so 100 times for 1.5. Maximum revenue, let's put 3,500. And then obviously there's different things you could do. Obviously another one here, apologies, is variation count, maximum variation count of 1. Reason being is when you start in private label, I want you to be thinking, well, Nick, there's only one product to focus on. It's very, very easy. And in fact, I've fallen in that trap with thinking, I know best. I can have 5 or 6 different colors for this, and it'll make perfect sense for us. What we've got is we've got different items. Yeah. Notice, large text and hamper box, red, 40, 340, 340. Interesting. 68 sales. Not the only issue with me would that be, is it foldable? How is this arriving to the customer? So let's have a look at the reviews. Reviews are so powerful. Please make sure that you're using reviews in order to work out what you're doing with a lot of the time. So top quality gift box. Bought a couple of these to use as birthday hampers. Easy to assemble, very sturdy, and you can pile a lot of stuff. Bought a box for the gifts for my niece. Wow, the box is lovely. It's included. It was quite expensive. Now I think I should have just cardboard box. Good quality and as described. You can't please everyone. Save on wrapping paper. Buy a box. I mean, this is just annoying kind of thing. It's just the kind of stuff that you could get. Unfortunately, when you start selling on Amazon, people leaving silly reviews like these ones. It is what it is. It is what it is, unfortunately. But seems to be that this seller is actually. Seems to be the case that this seller is able to find quite a nice little box, especially if it folds up. Next thing we've got is, in fact, let's filter by revenue. So mini heater, portable heater with adjustable thermostat. So that's very interesting. It's the time of the season, time of the year even for us. Mini heater, portable heater with adjustable thermostat and timer for home office, both indoors and outdoors. Now you can see how they've been absolutely slammed with reviews, yeah, but they're still getting sales. So it is very, very cold, to the point where at the moment in time I'm using my phone to record because my camera fogs up because it's too cold. So yeah, let's have a look at the reviews first of all. I love looking at reviews. Reviews is the biggest clue to work out what you can do better for this product. So mini heater works lovely, but with the amount of heat generated from it, it's not as good as advertised. Suitable to bring a little heat. Very small area around the heater. Large cupboard. Lovely cute mini heater for many areas. 120, not 240. Again, advertising correctly. Only has two pin plugs, so European plug. Not safe. I've just seen a video showing this heater is not safe. Yeah, so it's very interesting. You can see how it seems to be using the shaver charger that you get when you get a hotel. So that's interesting. But again, people are buying it. I wouldn't buy it. Too many negative reviews. Really useful nestable storage boxes. Of course, they're doing well at the time of year, putting up decorations. Travel mug. Pint glasses. Insulated top with straw. Okay, so we're going for a Stanley mug dupe. Really, in fact, they've even listed on the brand generic. So if you're thinking what is brand generic, if you don't have a trademark, you can list under brand generic. The problem is that a lot of the time you're not going to have any power on this listing. So say, for example, somebody else jumps on this listing, it'd be quite hard for you to knock him off it because it's not your trademark. They're not infringing in an intellectual property. You've listed it under brand generic. Back in the day, you used to be able to list under generic just to get your ASIN, give it to someone in China, and then convert the listing back into your branded listing. But this cannot happen anymore. So I would avoid massively generic listings. I would expect a lot of mini heaters. You can see another mini heater here is 100 plus sold for the office. So I guess it's people working in an office space and they're just thinking, I'm just going to put a heater on, use the workspace just to plug and have it. Imagine being a teacher and have it that way. Just a little plug that you could do. You're not paying the electricity, your workplace paying electricity, but you've got the heat. If it's PAP tested, I don't know. Can heat a shoebox. Yeah, this thing could heat a shoebox, let alone a small garage office. Had it for a full day, 9 hours, and still cold in there. Don't know where they get the details and can heat offices and workshop. Complete waste of money. That was expected. Get the heater. So obviously, what you'd have is you'd have some positive reviews with their friends, and then you'll have people that absolutely destroy the listing. Now, how could I make this better? How could I make this listing better? Is how about have a proper 4 or 5 images. You can even see here this is just something that potentially done on Canva and just put it on top of the listing. Let's have a look. So mini heater, adjustable thermostat. Let's go on Alimo. Let's go on Alibaba. Copy. So what we've put is we've just put mini heater. That's all we've typed in here. Mini heater with thermostat. We're getting a lot of different options. Little heaters we've got here. Again, is this the one? It looks very similar. I'd be surprised if it isn't that one. Yeah, that's the one. So they're buying it for £6.80, £7.50 potentially. They cannot be making any money on this. So if I was to go here and put, let's say, 7 landed, wow, 7 landed is still making a bit of a... It's not a bad margin. Yeah, I mean, I like sourcing at a 30% margin because even if I've got an ACOS advertising campaign of 30%, I'll still get the profit out of it. But yeah, just it's interesting. Small parcel, 2-year guarantee. But that is exactly this item here. UK, you could even ask for a UK plug. if you wanted to. It looks massive. This is something that I wouldn't have as an image, okay? This image here makes it look too big. So you're opening for customers to leave you a negative review here because you're not clear on what you're doing. It needs to be an image somewhere where it says, what is the size of this item? And this is what I would do when it comes to contact the supplier. I would ask him, what is this size? Yeah. What is the size for this listing? Another heaters we got, a customized small heater. Another one here, £6.60. Low tone, low noise, winter and sun degree adjustable support, 3 fast heating portable. So this is something you would have at home, let's say. Not home, sorry, at the office, just by your desk as you're typing, just to warm up your hands maybe. Now, what you could do is you could ask the supplier, because at the moment in time they're only offering the US, and you can see how this is, believe it or not, sad, because you're charging this as you would charge the all PS1s or PS2, so it's fairly common. You just have to get the cable off them or ask him, could you please source a different cable for us? It will be quite unfortunate if this is already pre-packaged in a different box, and therefore it'd probably be more expensive for you. But if this isn't pre-packaged and you could get them to supply a different charger, then that would be the best. But please make sure to check how they're charging, how this charges. Really important. If you give them chance to cut corners, they will cut corners for yourselves. Got another one here, wall outlet, 800, safe mini fan heater, thermostat timing. Again, little small one here, not too bad. So let's have a look. Wall outer portable electric air blower. So this isn't like a brand building kind of listing, I would say, because potentially you're opening yourself to a lot of negatives. But it's something that if you wanted to, you could potentially get quite a lot of sales. I mean, look at this, 800 sales, 5K sales. You just had to make sure that you're in the right time. Now, chances of you ordering this before Chinese New Year and arriving on time and everything are very, very small. But it's just interesting to see how people who invest the time and look at what they could do is they can find it. So this is the one. Yep, you can see how they've just used the same images pretty much. And able to show it. Now, for me, anything I would do better is potentially I would have the size of this item for people, because the last thing I want to do is have negative review. Let's have another deep dive and let's look into it. And so if I'm doing this, if I'm doing my product source, let's say, for example, at the moment in time, what do I do? Well, I write down my ideas. So we looked at heater. That was one of the things. What was the first thing? We looked at the box. Yes and no. It's a bit bulky for us. And again, you're opening yourself to negatives. And then we're just finding different opportunities. So you got slush puppy, ice cream maker. Got here judge. Cutlery set, a bit heavy. Right, self-explanatory. Wow, 50 sold a month. This looks very, very, very fragile. Yeah, looks very fragile, this. To the point where I imagine you'd put something over and it falls over. You got 50 sales, 100 even on Helium 10. And if you scroll down to the reviews, great area, very sturdy. I took have it. Currently, because we're not open. Also, have one of the crossbars broken. South, even though it was faulty items, but touched with a batch pull. This is probably one of the worst possible reviews you could get. Really poor quality, badly damaged, paint chipped off several times. Post conditioned on a 20-year-old, but If you're trying to cut corners, yeah, you'll find out. Simple as that. If you're trying to cut corners. So if I had to guess, this potentially something at the source for 2-3 quid. Did they put together or not? I'll just quickly upload a file here. Yeah, 2 to 4. You've got 4 sections. This one has, how many did it have? Had 3 sections. So this one's got 4 potentially. There you go, 3. It sells, of course it would sell, but it seems very, very fragile for me. I wouldn't like that. I mean, I've got 2 kids. Imagine what would happen with that, with 2 kids. I'd just fall over. But yeah, this is how you can take a dive into private label and look at what products you could bring. The last thing I want us to be doing and thinking is, I've got an idea, I'm going to try and make it work. I used to be an open-minded person. Obviously, maybe going into this, you never thought, wow, people are selling 1,000 of portable heaters, or people are selling errors, or people are just selling just plain boxes. The whole world is your oyster when it comes to private labeling, and it means that you can bring products over here, put your brand on it, and sell it on. So obviously, like Gove, these are the lights that I've used in the background. Anchor was a private label brand that became massive, and yeah, there's just so many different opportunities when you're selling under your own brand and when you've got your own power to do what you fancy on the listing. So I really hope in 2025 you do start selling your own brand. You start with your own trademark and you're thinking, well, I would like to take a stab and have a look at the data behind it. Well, I've got a link below in the description for yourselves. With Helium 10, you can get 20% off for the next 6 months. I've also got a link in the description with filters that I use when I do my product sourcing. And if you're thinking, well, Nick, I am ready and I would like to jump into doing some private labeling with your mentoring, I also offer private mentoring, and you can book a free consultation call with myself, and you're going to be with me until I get 100,000 with your brand for yourselves. Yeah, so there's no time limit on this. You're going to have my support until your brand reaches 100,000 in revenue. And I really hope that you have a really good year. We are currently at the moment in time, so 2,500 profit. It is just Wednesday the 8th. So not a massive change from November, December, pretty much the same numbers. And I'm really pleased with that, because I used to have just a crazy December and then it plummeted. Yeah, I had, my last January was only a 3K January and I'm already at 2.5. So it just tells you the power of sadly making mistakes and what you can learn from that. And I guess that's the massive benefit if you choose to do a mentorship with myself, is you get to avoid making all those costly mistakes and we get to talk it through. Thanks so much for watching. If you watched all this through, if you subscribe and like, that'd be amazing. And if you would like me to go and do a deep dive on a niche for yourself, just put a comment below in the description and that'll do my next video. I'll look and have a look at that niche for yourselves. Thanks very much, everyone.